Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and welcome to the inaugural episode of my Tampa Bay Buccaneers Deep Dive series where we take a look at players who will more likelier than not have an influential impact on the Bucs' 2018 season. And today, we're taking a look at Ryan Fitzpatrick. Now, for the purposes of these videos, I'm going to be taking a look at the entirety of the player's career, starting at college and ending with the current year. Now, Ryan Fitzpatrick joined Harvard in 2001, and he was the backup quarterback for the 2001 and 2002 Harvard seasons behind then starting quarterback Neil Rose. Fitzpatrick then became the full-time starter in 2003 and led Harvard to a 7-3 record and also had a passing stats of 1,770 passing yards, 16 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions in 10 games. He would also finish with 430 rushing yards as well as 6 rushing touchdowns. In 2004, he would lead Harvard to a perfect 10-0 record with 1,986 passing yards, 13 touchdowns, as well as 6 passing interceptions. Adding in 448 rushing yards as well as 5 rushing touchdowns, not only did Harvard win the Ivy League that year, but Fitzpatrick was also named the MVP for the league that same year. Fitzpatrick's final Harvard stats were 5,234 passing yards to go along with 39 passing touchdowns and 21 interceptions. He also had 1,487 rushing yards to go along with 16 rushing touchdowns, playing in 30 games for Harvard University. Fitzpatrick ranked second in passing yards and passing touchdowns for Harvard behind his former starting quarterback Neil Rose. He does, however, hold the school records for most plays ever with 1,006 and most total offensive yards with 6,721 total offensive yards for Harvard while he was there for the entirety of his college career. During the pre-draft process, Fitzpatrick took a test which is known as the Wonderlic test, a test that almost every single NFL prospect has to take in order to gauge their overall knowledge and his overall intelligence level. Fitzpatrick was rumored to have scored an amazing perfect score of 50 out of 50, however these rumors were eventually disposed of, and it ended up that he had scored a 48 out of 50. Still, the highest recorded score ever by an NFL quarterback and the third highest score all time in the test's history. However, even more impressive than his test score was how long it took him to take the test. Fitzpatrick took this test in 9 minutes. I repeat, it took him 9 minutes to take a 50-question test that he almost got a perfect score on. This man is insanely smart. Again, he got the third highest score ever in the history of the test, and it only took him 9 minutes. That's ridiculous. So, Fitzpatrick was drafted in the 7th round of the 2005 NFL Draft by the St. Louis Rams. He would then start the second half of his rookie season, replacing then-starter Jamie Martin. He finished with an 0-3 record, 777 passing yards, to go along with 4 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. After this, Fitzpatrick did not start a single game in the 2006 NFL season, and he was then traded to the Cincinnati Bengals before the start of the 2007 NFL season. Ryan Fitzpatrick would return to the Cincinnati Bengals for the 2008 NFL season after a Carson Palmer injury. He would finish with 12 starts, a 4-7-1 record to go along with 1,905 passing yards, as well as 8 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Ryan Fitzpatrick would then sign a 3-year deal with the Buffalo Bills in the 2009 NFL season. He would then become the starting quarterback due to an injury to then-starter Trent Edwards. He would finish with 8 starts, a 4-4 record, 1,422 passing yards to go along with 9 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. In the 2010 season, Fitzpatrick was named the starter again after a poor start to the year. He would finish with 13 starts, a 4-9 record to go along with 3,000 passing yards, and also 23 touchdowns and 15 interceptions, his best statistical year up to this point in his career. In 2011, Ryan Fitzpatrick would finish the year as a full-time starter for the Buffalo Bills. He would finish with a 6-10 record, 3,823 passing yards, 24 touchdowns, and 23 interceptions. And, oh yeah, he also got a 6-year, $59 million contract extension. What? 2012, after that extension, Ryan Fitzpatrick was once again the full-time starter, and he finished with a 6-10 record, 3,400 passing yards, okay, 24 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions. Why would you give him 6 years, $59 million? Buffalo Bills, what the hell's wrong with you? Ryan Fitzpatrick was cut before the start of the 2013 season. For the 2013 season, however, he signed a 2-year contract with the Tennessee Titans. He was the backup to then young, promising starting quarterback Jake Locker. However, he would then take over for an injured Jake Locker in Week 4. What the hell, Ryan Fitzpatrick? Why do you keep on getting quarterbacks injured? After that injury, Ryan Fitzpatrick would start 9 games for the Tennessee Titans. He would post a 3-6 record, 2,454 passing yards, 14 touchdowns to go along with 12 interceptions. He was cut before the 2014 NFL season. How many quarterbacks have been injured by Ryan Fitzpatrick at this point? In 2014, Fitzpatrick would then go on and sign a 2-year deal with the Houston Texans. After some poor play, he was eventually replaced by starter Ryan Mallett. And then, psych, 2 weeks later, he replaced an injured Ryan Mallett who tore his freaking pectoral muscle. Ryan Fitzpatrick, stop putting a voodoo curse on the freaking NFL and these starting quarterbacks. Please, I beg of you. Starting 12 games for the Houston Texans, Ryan Fitzpatrick posted 2,483 passing yards, a 6-6 record, and 17 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. Not bad, but you also have to consider that Ryan Fitzpatrick is an evil voodoo master genius who keeps on getting starting quarterbacks injured, so I think we all deserve and we should give him nothing but our never-ending respect for this man. For the 2015 season, Fitzpatrick was traded from the Houston Texans to the New York Jets. Before the start of the season, he was the backup to then starting quarterback Geno Smith. However, Fitzpatrick would once again come into the starting role after Geno Smith had his jaw broken by a punch from a teammate. This caused Ryan Fitzpatrick to start all 16 games for the New York Jets, and quite honestly, it was his best year ever, posting 3,905 passing yards, which is second in Jets all-time history, 31 touchdowns, which is first in Jets all-time history, and 15 interceptions. This was the best year for Ryan Fitzpatrick by far to go along with a 10-6 record. However, no playoff appearance, unfortunately. After that amazing run in 2015, the Jets would bring back Ryan Fitzpatrick on a 1-year, $12 million contract. After a bad start to the year, he was eventually replaced by Geno Smith yet again in Week 6. However, Geno Smith suffered a season-ending injury and was eventually replaced by Fitzpatrick yet again. Fitzpatrick would be dealing with injuries himself and then was eventually replaced by Bryce Petty. However, Bryce Petty himself was dealing with injuries, so Fitzpatrick was back and started 11 games for the New York Jets that season. With a 3-8 record, 2,710 passing yards to go along with 12 touchdowns and 17 interceptions, this could very well be one of the worst years, if not the worst year in Ryan Fitzpatrick's career, starting a very large amount of games for a team. For the 2017 season, Ryan Fitzpatrick would then sign a deal with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where we are right now. He was the backup to Jameis Winston, and he then had to come in and start 3 games after Jameis Winston went down with a shoulder injury. Ryan Fitzpatrick finished this past season with a 2-1 record, 1,103 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. For Ryan Fitzpatrick's final career stats, at least up to this point in his career, he finishes with an overall record of 48 wins, 70 losses, and 1 tie. He also finishes with 26,991 passing yards, 173 touchdowns, and also 131 interceptions. And, oh yeah, 8 injured quarterbacks during his career as well, and I'm counting Geno Smith twice. So what can we gather from all of this, from the entirety of Ryan Fitzpatrick's career? Well, Ryan Fitzpatrick has done a lot in his career. He's been a starter for many seasons, he's been a backup for many seasons, he's had very good highs and very low lows. He's had big contract extensions as well as very small contracts, so all in all, I feel that you could definitely do much worse than Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's a very smart man, and he knows how to be a starting quarterback, and he's played in multiple offenses, so he definitely knows how to have an adaptable situation and deal with it. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and I hope you've learned a little bit more about the type of player Ryan Fitzpatrick is and the kind of effect he's going to have for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He is the favorite right now to start the upcoming 3 games for the 2018 season, as Jameis Winston has been suspended for a violation of the conduct policy. How will he do? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Like if you enjoyed this new series, and comment down below any other players that you would like to be featured in this series. And as always, guys, I will see you in the next video or live stream, and as always, go Bucs.